hope John Gibson hasn't heard about this. Greg?
Thanks, Andy.
You betcha.
Got your present.
Oh, is it the right size?
Well, I haven't picked it up yet, but I thought you forgot, and then I went into my pocket this morning and I found this little note, and it said, "Look underneath your pillow." That was very sweet.
Oh, so you haven't actually gotten it yet?
No, I haven't.
Well, I hope it fits. I tried to estimate that based on, like, my memory and stuff like that, so I think it should be all right.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. That didn't work. Go away! Let's welcome our guest. Well, she's so hot, she's often mistaken for Florida. I'm here tonight with Fox Business Network anchor Lori Rothman. And he's so British, he sleeps in a tea kettle. It's Johnathan Hunt, chief correspondent for Studio B in the Fox Report on Fox News Channel. And in the Netherlands, he's considered a screwdriver. It's my repulsive sidekick, Bill Schultz. And if fierce commentary were a broken vending machine, I'd bang him until he gave me some candy. Sitting right next to me, Bernard Mcguirk, Imus in the Morning executive producer.
A-Block, the lead. That's the first story.
Still not quite used to that. All right. Were they more than just a mob? U.S. officials now suspect the attack in Libya that killed our ambassador and 3 other diplomats wasn't the result of a protest against an anti-Islam film, but a coordinated raid to mark the anniversary of 9/11. Surprise. Former chair of the House Intelligence Committee, Pete Hoekstra, tells FoxNews.com, quote, "This was just more than a mere coincidence." Meanwhile, Mitt Romney is standing by his criticism of the Obama administration for its early response to the attack on the U.S. Embassy in Cairo. Oh, back to me. The U.S. Embassy there at first issued a statement addressing the anti-Muhammad video that sparked that protest, saying it condemns, quote, "the continuing efforts by misguided individuals who hurt the religious feelings of Muslims, as we condemn efforts to offend all believers of all religions." Yikes. Romney's campaign issued a statement overnight calling the response disgraceful, prompting criticism from Team Obama. On Wednesday, Mitt was asked about it.
I don't think we ever hesitate when we see something which is a violation of our principles. We express immediately when we feel that the president and his administration have done something which is inconsistent with the principles of America.
Hey, Bernie, go to you first. What do you think of what Mitt did there? There's a lot of people saying he jumped the gun.
Well, I tell you, everything he said was accurate, was right on the money. And it's plausible, though, to criticize him for jumping the gun. He did make those comments before we knew that there was a dead ambassador. So he may have, but everything he said was true about how we shouldn't apologize, and it was disgraceful, that statement. But so he probably should have held back a little bit. Listen, my question is, you know what it brings? This never would have happened, ironically, under Mubarak or Gaddafi.
Yeah.
And for that matter, Saddam Hussein, we would have been better off. In other words, this whole stupid freedom agenda, we actually aided and abetted the Egyptians and the Libyans, and this is what we get in response. In other words, helping people who hate us with money we don't have, starting back with Iraq and that war. I mean, now Iran benefited from that. The whole thing is disgusting. And Mitt Romney did the right thing. At least he came out today and he took questions like a man. You know, he may have jumped the gun, but at least he addressed it and he stuck by his guns.
Yeah, you sound a lot like a neocon.
I'm the exact opposite.
I know, I was joking. Johnathan, this really isn't about a movie, is it? I mean,
no, absolutely not. There's a growing consensus, in fact, in the in the intelligence community tonight, that this was planned, coordinated, military style. In fact, those were the words used by the current House Intelligence Chairman, Republican Congressman Mike Rogers tonight. You looked at the 2 events initially. Cairo, broad daylight, mob of about 1,000, climbed the walls, made no real effort to get into the embassy itself, all unarmed. This, in Benghazi, darkness, small group, about 20 people, heavily armed, guns, RPGs, clearly planned, and it's increasingly likely, according to all the people we talked to, that this was planned a long time ago, planned specifically to happen on the 11th anniversary of 9/11.
Yeah, and here we have a media, Lori, that is obsessed with this crackpot preacher and this bizarro movie that very few people watch. If you look on YouTube, there's like a handful, a couple thousand people that look at it. Now there's going to be tons. But this is what bothers me. Does it matter if a film was made or not? Because I make fun of you all the time.
All the time.
And you don't kill me. That's part of the world.
I love it when you make fun of me.
That's the way normal people react to, I don't know, insults.
Absolutely.
We know how to react. What's wrong here?
Well, to Bernie's point, I thought Romney, one of the best things about his comments was he just went right in, zeroed in on freedom of speech.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why these people hate us so much. All of our freedoms and the way that this country, the foundation that it was built on. I mean, it's just infuriating. I mean, billions and billions of dollars to aid to the Middle East to guide them through this transition of the Arab Spring, and now it's, you know, for what?
So you have this big cultural difference as well, Greg. I mean, people who grew up in Gaddafi's Libya have no idea about freedom of speech, no idea whatsoever. So there's a huge cultural divide there as well.
Yeah, and for some reason, Bill, we are scared of them. They have no fear of us whatsoever. I mean, I seriously doubt a birth control activist would approach a Muslim-affiliated hospital and demand free birth control.
I'm going to agree with you.
Yeah, I know.
Because how can I not?
Yes.
I think kudos to Romney. There's nothing more presidential than jumping to conclusions before receiving all the facts and then issuing out a hastily worded statement and then refusing to go back on it. He stuck to his guns, raw as they may be. I, for one, believe in Obama. I think that his past record suggests that when he says justice is going to be done, justice is going to be done. And he even used the qualifier, make no mistake. You know that means business.
But Bill, he sounded like he was giving a eulogy. I know a lot of commentators were saying
Someone
that
died.
today. Absolutely, but then also an apology.
Right.
I mean, it's in his whole,
Well,
even
but
before that.
He didn't apologize.
Where did he apologize? He
Well,
didn't.
He never did.
But I'm talking more about the tone of that statement this morning, and this is obviously coming on the heels of the DNC platform dispute over Jerusalem, refusing to accept the meeting with Netanyahu this week. The whole Middle East platform, in my view, is just really disorganized and a lack of leadership. It's very concerning and troubling.
It's not like they're wearing voices saying, look, we should stick with Mubarak back then, that he's our friend, he kept the peace with Israel for a long time. And we didn't do it. We didn't heed those warnings, and now this is what we get. We get ingratitude and hate. Yeah. I mean, for us, this is Sisyphean, quixotic endeavor of actually, trying to perpetuate this freedom agenda over there with these Stone Age mentality savages. It's so wrong-headed and stupid. We should be over there. Now, forget American exceptionalism. Just taking the stupid oil if we help you, so we can pay for grandma's hip and for old man's Viagra or whatever the hell. I mean, that's what we should be doing. I mean, it's put this country first. Forget these people.
But you know, I always look at it at the media as well as how duped they are, or how willingly they like to be duped with the Arab Spring, and how that was on the cover of everything, and they were playing it, the Arab Spring, to be something so wonderful, but you knew that it wasn't even close. Yeah. The other thing that bugs me is, okay, you can disagree with Romney about what he did, but extremists killed Americans, and the media is more focused about asking 6 questions, identical questions to Mitt Romney about did you jump the gun, as though he, in this playing out this story, he's the villain, and not some a-holes that killed Americans. I think the priorities are a little off, and I don't know why, but I have to say they are off.
Yeah, and we shouldn't ever forget that, and to be fair, as both Secretary of State Clinton said and President Obama, there is, bottom line, there is absolutely no justification for what these people did.
Yeah.
She sounded ticked off.
Well, but if the priorities are off, they're off on both sides. Because what did Romney do? The first opportunity, instead of addressing the situation, addressing Obama addressing the situation.
Absolutely.
And he was wrong.
And now you're addressing Romney addressing Obama addressing Romney.
Correctly.
Yes, all right. From the Mideast to the Midwest. Are they having a blast? Not teaching class? Choosing festivities over testivities? I invented that word. Well, the teachers' strike in Chicago is entering its 4th day. On Wednesday, Mayor Rahm Emanuel said there were only a couple of key issues that needed to be resolved, while the teachers' union said there were actually 43. That sounds like more than a couple, but then again, I'm no archaeologist. But some teachers on the picket line don't seem to mind the deadlock.
You guys teachers?
Yeah.
How much fun are you having right now?
This is the best I have felt my entire career teaching.
Are you guys teachers?
Yeah.
How much fun are you having right now?
Oh my God, this is a great time here. We're having a blast.
You guys teachers?
Yes.
How much fun are you having right now?
Yay! Kids are at home not learning. I would say that was instructive, but I don't know what that means. Maybe this teacher can explain things to me.
Who's on your shirt?
Che.
Che Guevara.
Yeah, of course, right.
Can you tell me a little bit about Che?
I know he's a revolutionary who fought for labor rights.
Yes, now it's all clear. A murdering homophobic thug is the perfect symbol for people making 75 grand a year going on a strike. That makes sense to me. Bernie, is there anything more pathetic than a grown-up wearing a Che T-shirt? That's a teacher.
I'll tell you what, that looked like an Occupy Wall Street rabble.
Yeah.
And it's so scary that these are the people who are responsible for teaching our kids, and that's the whole one of the crux of the issues is accountability and standard, holding them accountable, making sure there's good teachers. When the standard now is if you don't fondle the kid and you're not high on crack while you're teaching class, you're good to go for life.
Wow, I still can't even be a teacher.
What if you're coming down from crack? Not necessarily high anymore.
Then you go to the rubber room for a little while.
Yeah, exactly.
They bring you back.
Yeah, they keep you there,
Okay.
and you still get paid. So, Johnathan, the thing is, this is supposed to be a struggle, but they're having fun. They're having fun. Isn't this just the whole idea of a protest being this, brave thing, just so exaggerated by Hollywood? It's like it's a walking picnic.
And I just wish the follow-up question had been, how much fun do you think the parents are having trying to get childcare for their children? How much fun do you think the kids are having walking the streets of Chicago, which we know now are some of the most murderous streets in this country? Yeah. But the one nice thing about this, I think, is that Rahm Emanuel, who's lived this charmed life, is suddenly finding that elected politics is a heck of a lot harder than banging heads together in the West Wing.
That is so true. Lori, how's this strike going to end? Aren't they just going to give in anyway? Because they always do, and then another city will go bankrupt.
Well, it's pretty close to being bankrupt right now. And these teachers are getting a 14% raise, and they're still unhappy. I have to say, I think the bigger picture here is the union story. I think they're experiencing diminishing clout, right? And they're really ticked off at the president. They put the DNC in a right-to-work state, and on and on and on. But I think the point here is if the unions can say, look, we're not teaching your kids, we're still relevant, and we're still powerful.
Mm-hmm. So their clout.
So I don't know how it's going to end. I don't know. It's pathetic.
Bill, you went on strike for 3 years and nobody noticed.
No.
It was amazing. Bill, the office smelled better.
I forgot what I was protesting. Well, but protesting has always been fun in America. I mean, there's been the odd occasion like at Kent State somewhere here or there. But look all the way back to the 60s. What they were protesting might have been something that was important, but they were high the whole time. I mean, free love, nudity, these are not unfun things. Okay. Protesting has always been fun. And I will disagree with one thing you said. The kids are having a good time. You do not have to go. Yes, the streets of Chicago are dangerous, but there's this little thing called Xbox, and they're having the time of their life. This is like snow day on steroids. Yeah. We would just have one of them. These kids are striking.
Yeah, but and that's wonderful. Kids not going to school. Here's the thing that bothers me the most. When it's all said and done, and you saw it, there were socialist groups marching in the if you watch the whole tape, socialists, and they were doing socialist chants. After they get their money and after they get everything, they go back and they teach your kids. What are they going to tell the kids? Do you think they're going to have an objective view of what this whole experience was like? Of course not. This is now indoctrination. This is indoctrination.
Right. It's awful. I mean, this is why like inner city parents want to send their kids to these so-called banned word, so-called charter schools.
Yes.
They want their kids, inner city parents want their kids to wear uniforms. They don't want them with these Woodstock-looking, hippie-type, drug-snorting, whatever the hell they are.
I wouldn't go that far.
They don't. Okay, I think
I'll edit out that last part.
They want discipline. People don't want all this feel-good, liberal, Occupy Wall Street mentality. They want the kids with the 3 R's. That's what they want, and they're not getting it.
But at the same time, do we really want to demonize teaching? In the end, it's an honorable profession. My mother was a public school teacher.
My mom was a teacher.
And what we want are perhaps better people in the schools, not to demonize everybody and chase them away. So be nice.
Yeah. No, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to drop the last 3 words that they used in that string of epithets. Wow. No, it's true. My mom taught. But that's another. What happened to the old-fashioned teachers? Right? They were little late. Mrs. Benoit, my 2nd grade teacher. Yeah. Mrs. Simonetta, my 3rd grade teacher. Sister Maya, my 1st teacher. Miss 4th grade, Miss Sprinkle. 5th grade, Lucchese. 6th grade, Brady.
Well, you ask whatever happened to these people? I can go across the board. Dead.
No.
Greg, you're in your mid-40s. These people are dead.
No, they're not.
These people are dead.
No, they're not dead.
Yes, they are not superhuman.
No.
Life has a beginning and an end.
No. They were delightful. But maybe they were older. No,
Yes.
they weren't. No,
Yes.
no, I can vouch for the. They were some were in their 20s when they were teaching me. I remember my 5th grade teacher being 20-something.
I'm sure you do remember that teacher.
Yeah, you would have been a great
But
teacher.
they don't say that way.
No, they don't.
They age.
They do age.
Yes.
We all age. But why can't they stay the same?
In your memory,
In your
they
mind,
will.
basically.
And in the ground right now, they're staying the same.
No, Bill, why do you have to bring it down? All right.
Damn.
I know.
And this is our facts of life, guys. Yes.
Yeah, all right.
It's a circle.
All right, kids do learn a lesson, though. If you want to play hooky, join a union. All right. Stupid caller. All right, coming up, is raccoon blood a better substitute for non-dairy creamer? Lori Rothman discusses her new diet book. Wait, it's true. That's what you use. But first, should ogling... I don't know how to say is it ogling or ogling? Ogling?
I think it's ogling.
It's ogle. It's ogling. At nude beaches should...
Get off that picture.
Should it be illegal? The story President Obama doesn't want you to hear. They're never that attractive.
Did you know many dogs suffer from anxiety just like people? Behavior like this can make everyone unhappy, especially him. Now your family members don't have to suffer. Introducing Thundershirt, the veterinary-approved solution to calming your dog for thunder, fireworks, separation, travel, barking, and more, so that all of you can feel better. Thundershirt is approved and recommended by veterinarians and dog trainers across the country. Its unique design helps to calm your dog almost instantly.
We were frustrated. We tried everything. We tried pills, we tried antidepressants, we tried over-the-counter, herbal, everything.
Right, and then we found the Thundershirt.
And that really worked. It was exactly what we were looking for.
Thundershirt very simply is like a hug. It makes the pets feel secure, and when they feel safe and secure, we feel good.
In my practice alone, I'd say about half my patients are off medications because they're using the Thundershirt, including my own dog.
Thundershirt fits almost any size dog. Plus, Thundershirt is easy to use. Simply wrap Thundershirt around your dog, adjust the convenient Velcro straps, and watch your dog become calm.
As a vet, I've been amazed at how easily and instantly the Thundershirt works to calm pets.
I was a skeptic, but as soon as he put it on, it was amazing to me how calm. Amazing.
The miracles it worked with her. I was able to take her off medication, and I was able to save her life.
If your dog suffers from anxiety associated with loud noise like thunderstorms, fireworks, vacuums, or anxiety from owner separation and travel, even uncontrollable barking at visitors and other dogs, Thundershirt is the answer. Call or go online now to get Thundershirt for you or someone you know. Thundershirt makes the perfect gift, and you can even personalize it with your pet's name. Remember, dog owners and vets across the country can't be wrong. Great results are guaranteed or your money back. Call or click now.
Call 1-800-331-6875. 1-800-331-6875. That's 1-800-331-6875.
Deadly attack at Libya's U.S. Embassy. New evidence, questions about al-Qaeda connections, and what it all means for our foreign policy. Don't miss a minute of our must-see primetime lineup tomorrow.
Looking back, it's amazing how far I've come. Shriners hospitals have everything to do with that. I was in an accident. I was burned. I lost my hands, my feet. I really thought my life was over. Shriners did a lot more than just heal me. They helped me put my whole life back together.
Caitlin Drive is one of nearly 1 million changed by donations from people like you. Send your love to the rescue. Donate today.
Does occasional sleeplessness turn you into a zombie? Chewable Midnight's the only one made to take before bed or even the middle of the night for those times when you just can't sleep. Get a deep, restful sleep fast with no morning grogginess. And Midnight's drug-free and not habit-forming, so you wake alert and feel like yourself, not like a zombie. Midnight, any time of night.
For a $1 off coupon, go to midnightsleep9.com. That's midnight spelled N-I-T-E.
Oh, boy. Hey, is a PB&J not okay? Well, an Oregon school principal, is there any other kind, has suggested that serving the sandwiches seen here, that's not a sandwich, you guys tricked me, in the cafeteria, might be racially and culturally insensitive. A PB&J sandwich
is white privilege, according to this principal.
Can I keep going?
Oh, I thought you were throwing it out to the panel.
No,
Forgive
I
me.
was reading.
That was one
first time.
No, she's done this so many times. Frankly, I'm getting tired of it.
Follow the prompter.
Berenice Gutierrez was being interviewed about the Portland School District's program designed to narrow the achievement gap, which involves, and I'm not making this up, educating teachers on their own white privilege. I was getting there, Lori. And she noted that she picks up on the subtle language of racism every day and used the PB&J to make her stupid point. Quote, what about Somali or Hispanic students who might not eat sandwiches? Another way would be to say, Americans eat peanut butter and jelly. Do you have anything like that? Let them tell you. Maybe they eat torta or pita. Meanwhile, the district's tech courses for gifted kittens has received nothing but kudos. Watch your back, Zuckerberg. Don't know what that means, really. Lori, since you wanted to talk, I'll go to you first.
Oh, please.
This whole program, according to the principal, is to help make students of different ethnicities feel welcome at the school. But does it really? Doesn't it make? Doesn't it?
Do you know what they serve at schools? Besides PB&J, you can get chicken nuggets, macaroni and cheese, pizza, chicken wings. I mean, it's all crap. So why are they singling out PB&J first? I mean, does this principal, what's he going to say?
Pizza's Italian, by the way.
Yeah, that's another good point.
French fries, English muffin.
Yeah, that is so true.
I mean, the list goes on and on.
German potato salad.
Yes.
What's acceptable? I mean,
Canadian bacon.
Oh my gosh.
Colombian.
Anti-Semitic.
What is?
And bacon.
Anything with
bacon.
Yeah.
There's
not
nothing for Colombia, is there?
Not anti-Semitic.
There is, but the kids aren't supposed to be doing it.
Yeah, but you're offering them after class.
Well, guys gotta eat.
Yes. Bernie, they call this program Courageous Conversation.
They only shoot themselves. It's so absurd. It almost doesn't bear commentary. However, I grew up in the inner city.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of the black kids, my schoolmates, they love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, so there's a lot of black racists around too, apparently. But I'm sick of these self-hating white people. This principal's probably whiter than Prince Harry's butt his damn self. And just get over it.
I think he's not that white, by the way.
He is the racist.
I don't know, though. I think the name was Gutierrez.
That wasn't the principal.
Oh, that wasn't the principal?
Because some dude named Scott, if
I'd actually read the story, I would have known. Again, that's my fault for just cruising through this show, usually on some kind of narcotic. Johnathan, you're a filthy foreigner. I think we can agree that. Does this PB&J bashing appeal to your filthy, job-stealing sensibilities?
Yes. Peanut butter is overtly racist. We didn't have it when I was growing up in Britain in the 1800s, so therefore it's overtly anti-British, and I don't like it. But also, this all goes back to Oregon. They're also organic.
Yes.
All these Portland restaurants that want to source everything locally. What's more racist than that? They won't buy their chickens from Colombia or Mexico. It's racist.
That is
from
true.
the very start.
Local shopping local is
racist.
Thumbing your nose at global.
Exactly.
Did you have peanut butter? Did you have Nutella or Nutella?
No, we had Marmite.
Marmite and fish paste.
But it was probably on white bread.
And he grew up in an orphanage.
Marmite on white bread. See, we were inclusive. We had a black spread on white bread.
Yes.
Made us very inclusive.
And this is when you were a part-time chimney sweeper, right?
I was a full-time chimney sweeper.
Full-time chimney sweeper?
Because I didn't go to school. My mother wouldn't teach me. She was on strike.
It was a euphemism for something you do. If you look on an Urban Dictionary. And Bill, you actually make your own peanut butter out of things you find on the street.
It's butter. Peanut very loosely. If I find one, sure, I'll throw it in there. I believe these kids should eat peanut butter. I think that that's good. No, none of this imperialistic American bread, though. Just the peanut butter, and only chunky. I do not think it should be smooth because it makes those with acne feel bad.
Hey,
just chunky peanut butter. We've got to be sensitive to these kids.
You don't see peanut products in schools really at all now because of the allergy problem. I was shocked to see this principal talk about this issue.
Look, the whole concept of white privilege. Has anybody ever been to Appalachia? And you see all these white people who are just in the abject white privilege. I mean, everybody has to work hard here, no matter who you are. It's this white privilege. People I grew up with in the Bronx, they're driving
why
cabs.
Why Appalachia is an example?
Well, that's why
he's talking about poor whites.
Somebody should launch a brand of peanut butter called White Privilege on the back of it.
There you go.
It would sell very well.
With Appalachia jam.
Yum. We have a business.
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right. I think we've solved a lot of problems here.
Yes.
I think we've created a lot.
I think we have created.
We are the problem.
We are the problem. Again, These are people teaching your kids. Part 2 from the union to this story. It's the same problem. These are the people teaching your kids, and they're indoctrinating you into some kind of weird tolerance world. I don't know. If only there was a book coming up called The Joy of Hate by Greg Gutfeld that would address this issue in just a matter of months. 60 days, perhaps. Let's count them down together. 60. Okay. So, do you have a comment on the show? Email us. It's redeye@foxnews.com. And do you have a video of your animal doing something not boring? Go to foxnews.com/redeye and click on Submit a Video. We might use it. Still to come, the Halftime Report from TV's Andy Levy. He's not getting a book.
Tonight's Halftime Report is sponsored by Submarines, those boats built to operate and travel for long periods of time underwater. Thanks, Submarines.
We asked over 3,000 doctors to review 5-Hour Energy, and what they said is amazing. Over 73% who reviewed 5-Hour Energy said they would recommend a low-calorie energy supplement to their healthy patients who use energy supplements. 73%. 5-Hour Energy has 4 calories and is used over 9 million times a week. Is 5-Hour Energy right for you? Ask your doctor. We already asked 3,000.
How will the U.S. respond after the slaughter in Libya? What should Washington do when Americans are attacked in Muslim countries? Plus, Obama said what on the radio? The rap on whether the prez was out of place. Tomorrow on the O'Reilly Factor.
Freezer burn steak, $20. Dried out chicken, $15. Moldy cheese, $5. Stop throwing cash in the trash. Save money with the Food Saver System, the #1 vacuum sealing system that keeps food fresh up to 5 times longer. Air can penetrate ordinary zipper bags. Food Saver bags keep air out, preventing freezer burn. With the Food Saver System, you can save up to $2,700 a year. Save now with the kitchen appliance that pays for itself in just weeks. Available wherever small kitchen appliances are sold.
People think I used a treadmill.
Or a stepper, or an elliptical.
To lose 50, 88,
45 pounds.
But they're blown away when I tell them I just walked.
Walked on a tread climber by Bowflex.
Introducing the new line of tread climber machines by Bowflex. The fitness breakthrough that burns up to 3.5 times the calories of a treadmill, and all you do is walk.
Being a single mom, the last thing I wanted to do was go spend another hour or 2 in the gym. First time in my life I feel like I've actually found something that works. I lost 50 pounds. The tread climber feels effortless. I'm genuinely happy with myself.
Treadmills, steppers, and ellipticals only work your body in one direction, but the tread climber's 3-in-1 design combines all 3 motions, so you can burn more calories in as little as 30 minutes 3 times a week.
I always had this skinny me in my head, and I wanted to try to be that person. I lost 73 pounds. The person I was before, I want to shake her and say, you could have changed your life way earlier.
Text, call, or go to walktc.com for your free information kit today. You'll see how in just 30 minutes you can burn up to 3.5 times the calories of a treadmill, and without the stress that running can put on your joints.
I'm 65 years old. I want something that's easy on my joints. I lost 26 pounds, and I feel better now than I did when I was younger.
Before I lost the weight, the first thing that entered the room was my gut. Now it's my chest. I lost 45 pounds, and I feel fantastic. The tread climber got my body back to where I was in college.
And introducing the Bowflex Buyback Guarantee. Try a tread climber in your home for a full 6 weeks. If you don't see incredible results, we'll give you your money back, guaranteed.
I tried a lot of other equipment. Nothing worked like the tread climber did. I am now smaller than I was pre-pregnancy. 88 pounds. That's a lot of weight.
This machine is a miracle.
It's a walking workout.
What could be easier than that?
So call, text, or go online to walktc.com for your free info kit and new online brochure. That's walktc.com.
An American hero.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We honor the memory of Neil Armstrong. Bill Hemmer and Brett Baer host special live coverage of the Neil Armstrong Memorial Service.
Yes, I do. Wow. Hey, we're back. I got propositions. Let's find out if we got anything wrong so far. For that, we go to TV's Andy Levy.
Thanks. Do you want to talk about this proposition?
Lori, I saw Lori's tattoo on her foot, and she said she had other tattoos if I'd like to see them.
All right.
You didn't.
Yes, I did.
I guess I started.
There are no secrets at this table.
In fairness, they're all prison tattoos. She did them themselves, and they're on her knuckles.
It does take a lot of makeup to cover up those teardrops.
Yeah.
And you have seen me walking in the morning,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
With
I've
glasses
seen
on,
there's
and
4 over here, 3 over here.
Yeah,
Pretty amazing, actually.
She's killed 8 people.
I stay far away. I do not get in an elevator with you. That's all I know.
Latin kings.
Libya. Greg, you mentioned the U.S. officials now suspect the attack on Libya that killed our ambassador and others wasn't the result of a protest against that movie. Johnathan, you agreed, saying there's a growing belief that the whole thing was planned, and I think you're both right. Wired.com now reporting that, quote, Benghazi was the scene of a pitched battle, one in which unknown Libyan assailants besieged American diplomats with small arms fire for over 4 hours, repelling several attempts by U.S. personnel to regain control of it. So it seems like this was not a mob just storming a building. This was a pitched firefight.
Yeah, they'd armed themselves. They'd planned this for quite some time. There was nothing impromptu about this. Almost coincidental, it's now seeming that this happened at the same time as Muslims in Cairo were actually protesting that movie. But that's turning out, it looks to be more coincidence than anything else.
Yeah. Also, U.S. officials say no U.S. Marines were guarding the consulate at the time of the attack, and apparently that's not unusual.
This was a consulate building, not an embassy.
Right, exactly.
At our embassies in these kind of places, then there is a Marine detail who have responsibility for the security up to the perimeter wall. At a consulate, this was a small building. They wouldn't necessarily be there. There were U.S. security guards. Private contractors probably were waiting for more detail on that.
Yeah, and that's a good point. That's an interesting point. A, that, like, why are consulates different? And B, remember how people used to paint private security as a bad thing? Weren't those the Blackwater guys?
That's a good
But here's the
point.
thing. There's been some issues about using these private security guys because what happens is, as usual, the government bids things out and the lowest bidder gets the job. And there have been a lot of problems. They had problems in Afghanistan, problems in Baghdad with doing this kind of thing because the firms end up not being able to supply the security that they claim they are at the price that they get paid. So this has happened before.
Okay.
But it's, you would question why, even if there wasn't Marine security at the consulate, what on earth the ambassador was doing traveling without more security than he apparently had. That's one of those questions that obviously people are going to look at.
Well, they're sending that the special Marine unit over there now, I guess. Lori, I do want to reiterate something you said. President Obama has not apologized for anything.
No, I knew you were going to zero in on that. I knew you were going to call me out on that. So I definitely stand corrected. He did not verbally apologize, but I just felt the tone was conciliatory, and I thought it was almost like, here we go again. I have to deal with this and confront this issue in the Middle East again. That was just my take. It was my personal impression.
Okay. All right. I don't do impressions.
Well, you're doing an impersonation of somebody who's really boring.
But not a good one. So
that's true, because you're actually really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So you're very bad at pretending to be a boring person.
Yep. Greg, you brought up this movie that was supposedly behind the attacks in Egypt and Libya and may or may not be. If it weren't for the fact that people died and all this movie story is amazing.
Yeah. Well, the fact is, if you look at it, it makes Porky's look like Citizen Kane.
Yeah, it makes The Room look like 2001.
I know. And then you look at it and you see that none of the actors or actresses knew that they were in this movie. They did not know.
I don't think it was a Muslim movie. I think someone literally got a hold of a crappy movie someone made, had fun in their basement by dubbing in all sorts of Muhammad stuff, released on the internet, and is now scared crapless and will never admit.
That still may be true. There's some evidence that that's not true, that the dubbing was done by the director, the filmmakers in post. It did apparently play once in a theater in L.A. to a pretty much empty house.
Still unfortunate that you get somebody like this Christian leader down in Florida promoting it, the same guy who threatened to burn the Korans. I mean, whatever you think of the reaction, that's still just
well,
stupid.
He's an ass. We know. We know he's an ass.
But the point, I guess, I got to go back and say, yeah, he's an ass. But there are millions of asses out there who do stuff like that in different areas, inciting violence. We've had our share in our own country of asses who incite violence.
Well, by the way, what they're doing by calling for this movie to be banned and stuff like that, that's insulting to my culture. Why are they allowed to insult my culture?
Right.
I don't think they should have that right.
I see what you're doing.
I'm still not following.
But their reaction speaks volumes to their Neanderthal mentality. I mean, for God's sake, we had Larry David on Curb Your Enthusiasm pee on Jesus.
Yeah.
And I laughed, and I'm a Catholic. I mean, so you know what? The hell with them.
Yeah.
Kick their ass and take their gas was the old mantra. Let's go back to that.
Or just get out.
Yes.
I'm not necessarily advocating that. I'm just saying it's a possible solution. Ron Paul 2016.
He'll be, how old will he be, Andy? I'll let you make that joke.
I don't know. Something years young.
Yes.
Yes.
Same age as your
he's reached
teachers.
that age where you have to say years young.
But he's still smart dude.
Chicago teacher strike. Bernie, you talked about how low the standard is for teachers in terms of, like, it's almost impossible to fire them.
Right.
How about this? If you think Che Guevara was a hero, you don't get to teach kids.
Yeah.
I like that. That should be a standard before him. But once they're in,
they should ask that question.
Yeah, initially, right. But
well, no,
in,
and every year.
They could come out in support of Jerry Sandusky once they're teachers because of the rules. You can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
As you know, it's just sad commentary.
Johnathan, you said Rahm Emanuel was finding out that elected politics is a lot harder than banging heads in the West Wing. I guess the problem is now he can't walk into the showers and berate naked people the way he used to like to do.
I'm sure he can. He could probably walk into the showers and berate his naked wife. Is he married?
Yes.
There's somebody he can berate, or he can come into my shower anytime and berate me naked if he feels so inclined. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not shy.
The idea of berating naked is kind of an interesting idea.
I feel like, Johnathan, that is going to cause riots in various countries.
In my apartment, it might cause riots.
Yeah. Skip that. Greg, you went to private school. Stop asking what happened to teachers. You don't know.
What do you mean? Did I go to private? Yes. I went to, St. Greg. I did. I went to St. Gregory's into the Sarah High School, but Berkeley was public.
Yeah. But we're talking about, you know, K through 12 or whatever.
And therefore, you're an expert on naked shower berating if you went to a private school.
I didn't even know what K through 12 meant.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay. By the way, you can say ogling or ogling.
Really?
Either one is acceptable. Although ogling sounds stupid.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Oregon principal says PB&J is racist. All right, Greg, you said an Oregon school principal has suggested that serving the sandwiches in the cafeteria might be racially and culturally insensitive. No, she hasn't.
I just read what you wrote.
I didn't write it.
Right.
This story has nothing to do with, because you basically all talked about this as if it had to do with serving food. The story has nothing whatsoever to do with serving food. What she was saying is, and she's a crackpot, what she was saying is teachers should not use PB&J as an example in the classroom while teaching their kids. For example, saying if you have 3 PB&Js and then you eat 2 of them, how many are left? Because that's culturally insensitive because other students from other cultures may not understand what a PB&J sandwich is.
I get it now. What did I say?
You acted as if you were saying that she said it shouldn't be served in the cafeteria.
Did I say?
We never said that.
I didn't say that.
You did say that. I have it right here.
She thinks that it's culturally insensitive.
But it has nothing to do with serving the sandwiches.
But we didn't say it. You never said it was a ban.
Greg, your exact quote was, an Oregon school principal has suggested that serving the sandwiches in the cafeteria might be racially and culturally insensitive.
All right, just find out whose initials are on that, and the stuff will be in a box tomorrow.
Okay, wasn't me. I think it's somebody that's sitting at the table with you, though.
Yeah, but I didn't write that.
Okay. And now here,
tweet.
Bernard, you talked about self-hating whites and said this principal is probably really white. Greg, you pointed out that her name is Gutierrez, and Bernie, you said that's not the principal. It is a principal.
In the article, it says the name is Scott. The last name is Scott.
We have literally taken a decent story and turned it into trash.
She's the principal. Her parents immigrated here from Mexico.
Well, you know what? The concept is stupid. That peanut butter and jelly, using peanut butter and jelly is racist. It's stupid.
Yes.
This way they'll learn math and they'll learn what a damn peanut butter and jelly sandwich is, which they need to know. And I did say sandwich. So public school students out there.
Sandwich.
Yes. Yep.
I love sandwich. I haven't heard that in ages. Having said that, it's a really interesting story anyway, Andy.
It
was
is.
just our treatment of it was subpar.
The actual real story is very interesting. It's just a shame you guys didn't talk about it.
Yeah, it's amazing how we were, despite our incompetence, there was still something in that story that was worth reporting.
Plus, you should have known in Portland, all they serve is it's just quinoa and kale, I think.
What?
I think that's all they're allowed to eat in Portland. Quinoa.
What's that?
You've never had that before?
I don't know what that is.
I know what kale is, I think.
Quinoa's a little grain. Q-U-I-N-O-A. It's that thing.
I don't know what that is.
It's delicious.
I went to a private school.
And locally sourced.
Go away.
Why do I have to go away?
Because you got everything wrong.
No, I did not. Somebody... Oh. All right. When I shake my finger, you know what that means. This finger's going somewhere. Oh, that's not what I meant. Or was it? Who knows? So, where have all the flowers gone? Not so much a tease as it is a note that Lou Dobbs stuck in my coat pocket when I entered the building today. Odd. What's up with Sweden? Full Sweden coverage next.
A decorated veteran. I love my country, and I love being free. Discovers his greatest battle. I kept thinking about my son. Is much closer to home. You are breaking the law. That is a lie, and you know it. Now, it's time to take a stand.
The drama just continues to unfold here.
And become a hero all over again.
We fight for freedom!
Last Ounce of Courage. Starts Friday at select theaters.
The setting was perfect.
She looked beautiful with that Caribbean tan.
I couldn't believe how clear the water was.
We're still raving about the incredible service.
He was so happy diving, he'd always wanted to try it.
Our suite was so exotic, it even had a pool.
And there were like 9 restaurants, all different.
Oh, delicious.
But what I remembered most was falling in love all over again.
Call your travel agent or 1-800-SANDALS. Certain restrictions apply.
Are there places in your home where you wish you had a light, but you don't?
Hi, Anthony Sullivan here for the Wireless Instabulb, a battery-operated light bulb that you can install without an electrician. Just stick up the base, slide in the bulb, and you've got light. It's that easy. There's no wires and no complicated installation. Now you can have light anytime, any place, anywhere. Just stick it up, pull the cord, and you've got light. The Instabulb is safe for kids, and it easily puts light within their reach. Unlike glass bulbs that break, the Instabulb is shatterproof if you drop it. There's no dangerous wires to mess with either. The Instabulb installs instantly, stays cool to the touch, and has a 10-year guarantee. Around the house or on the car, don't use hot clip-on lights when you can use the Instabulb. The Instabulb is perfect for attics and basements. Have a closet that needs illumination? Use the Instabulb. Just stick it up, and you've got instant light. Use one anywhere you need extra light. Nothing's easier to fit underneath the kitchen counter, and they're perfect inside for a tool shed if you don't have power. Use them outside as a wireless light for decks or patios, and they're great for camping and RVs. If the power goes out, you can depend on the power of the Instabulb, and each one slides out to become a handy lantern. This electrician charged $190 to install one light bulb. Call now and you'll get the wireless Instabulb for just $10.99. But call or click right now and we'll throw in a second Instabulb free. That's 2 wireless Instabulbs for $10.99. And when you call, find out about free shipping. But it gets even better. If you order now, you can double the offer to 4 Instabulbs. That means you get 4 wireless Instabulbs for $10.99. And remember, order now and find out about free shipping. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-873-8178 and get your Instabulb. But hurry, call now, and as a special offer, you can get a second set of 2 Instabulbs with your order. So call 1-800-873-8178 and find out about free shipping. That's 1-800-873-8178. Call now.
Was he showing he still cares by hiding upstairs? A South Carolina woman, is there any of the kind, recently discovered her ex-boyfriend living in her attic, and I mean that literally, 12 years after they broke up. The mother of 5 heard noises and thought it was a ghost or an animal, or perhaps an animal ghost, but it was her former beau who'd just been released from jail and was sleeping in the house's heating ductwork. There were cups containing feces and urine found all over. That's weird. And apparently he was spying on her through an air vent. Oh, I think we should discuss this in the
lightning round. Lightning round.
Johnathan, I believe this is how you met your wife.
It's exactly how I met her 15 years ago. It's exactly why she divorced me 14 and a half years ago, and she has no idea that I'm still in her attic.
Isn't that fantastic?
We'll fix that.
Well, you know why, though? Because, you know, you're quiet.
Exactly.
You're a little prowler. You can move. You know, and don't ask me how I know this. Just these videos that he tapes and puts online. Bernie, this guy rigged a ceiling fan, I guess, so he could watch. He's kind of like a pervert MacGyver.
Clearly, I mean, well, you know, but in this economy, we all have to pull together.
Yes.
You know, got 5 kids, and you know, the guy needed a space to live, and there he was. So.
Yeah. Wow, your heart is giant.
And by the way, does she still have a husband, or you know?
No, I think she was alone.
Well, maybe there can be sort of a rapprochement, and then we can have a family with 2 parents at home. And it could all work out nicely.
Wow, and you know what? It does show a measure of like patience and true love.
It's so sweet.
It really. Oh yeah. So you would.
Oh, I mean,
this is very glass of feces half full, guys.
The defecation aside, that part's really too much. But really, that after 12 years being apart, the first person he thinks of, maybe he was desperate, but he goes.
We're all moving into your attic tonight.
You should. The more the merrier.
That's why there's some blame to go around here, because they said that while they broke up 12 years ago, she continued writing to him. And she said, I was very clear in the letters that we were broken up. No, she wasn't.
If she was writing to him, what on earth was the mailing address she was sending them to? Wouldn't that have tipped her off?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. She's just throwing it out outside. They seem to be getting to him.
You know, interesting thing, you know, you've heard of peeping Tom. Well, Bill is a peeping Tom. He likes to watch people watch. It's really weird.
And they're all named Tom.
Yes, exactly.
I take my work very literally.
Yeah.
No, Tom's not alone.
Yeah, we're going to do...
Speaking of peeping.
Boy, she's now in control of this. All right, Sweden.
I like to be.
Which I believe, I had a point to make, by the way, but I guess I won't. Sweden, which I believe is just south of Hawaii, is reportedly close to becoming a completely cashless country. The amount of people using mobile banking is said to be the highest in the world, and most public transportation is paid by credit card. Of course, their public transportation is a llama. It's estimated just 3% of financial transactions in Sweden are made with cash, presumably involving lovely meatballs. Lori, go to you first, since you're so...
Lovely meatballs.
Yes.
I thought we were doing the exhibitionist story.
That's the next one, you crazy person.
Let me tell you something.
It's right about now when the 5-hour energy drink leaves you.
Oh, I didn't drink one today, because did you read that report? They're supposed to be terrible for
That's not the story, but...
Can I tell you, I pull out my wallet and use cash to pay for things, even in this country, and I feel old, because all the kids around me they have their iPhones to pay for their Starbucks, and their ATM cards, and their debit. I mean, it's just... I see this as a reality. This shouldn't be too hard to accomplish.
I have a problem with this, Bernie.
So do I.
Let me go for it.
Well, my problem is it's racist. If you need an ID to vote, and now all of a sudden we go to a cashless society, you're screwing a lot of poor people. And,
that's a good point.
I mean, according to the Democrat philosophy, you are screwing a lot of people. We go to a cashless society. But so it shouldn't be done. But I'm an old school guy. I like the cash transactions and.
My point exactly.
I thought this is not like just Sweden. Isn't the entire continent of Europe becoming cashless in every sense?
Well, that's
they have no money.
That's a joke.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Bill, you've never had more than $2 in your pocket, so this is pointless.
I'm ahead of my time. I have been cashless really ever since I left the home that my parents raised me in. So I see where Sweden's going with it, and look, this is your future. My cold smells.
You know, I think we should go in the opposite direction. I think with the advent of credit cards, we've seen a direct correlation to the rise in credit debt, because we just don't think about it. Hey, let me grab the drinks tonight. Oh, I'll get you dinner. Here, young fella, I'll take 45 minutes back there. You know, when you have a credit card, you don't think about anything. So what I'm thinking is go back. If you watch Westerns and stuff, they always have big bags of coins. You can't spend a lot with a big bag of coins. It's like, you know, here, that's $5. No, I'm going to give you 4, and they throw the 4.
But by the way, does anybody around this table remember the last time Greg said, wait, I'll get the drinks tonight?
How dare you? How dare you?
But private debt, you make a brilliant point, Greg Gutfeld.
There is one more
serious problem, and it's part of what's holding back economic growth.
There you go.
You would not be able to purchase your illegal drugs, pay your hookers.
Yes.
The Korean massage parlors.
Yes.
You're screwed.
Yeah.
So no pun intended. So there's a lot of reasons why we shouldn't do this. So Sweden, stick to your stupid cashless society and leave us out of it.
All right, we got to move on. Time to take a break. Up next, more junk involving nudity, apparently. Lori knows.
I'm Dr. Pachorik. Are you sleeping as well as you used to? Are you using energy drinks during the day? Do you need coffee in the morning? You may be just not sleeping well. Millions of Americans now have trouble sleeping. That's why I recommend Ultrol, America's #1 selling all-natural sleep aid. It's made of 3 unique sleep compounds, each proven to help induce sleep. L-tryptophan, valerian, and melatonin. Ultril is like 3 sleeping pills in one. Try Ultril for good natural sleep and the energy you need during the day.
Your snoring sounds like a freight train. It's not healthy for you, and it prevents your partner from sleeping at all. You may search for solutions like nose strips, sprays, and other gadgets, but the proven way to eliminate snoring is to widen your airway. That's what dentists do with custom devices, but they cost thousands. Now there's an affordable solution. Introducing Z-Quiet, dentist designed and cleared by the FDA. Z-Quiet gently positions your lower jaw slightly forward to widen the airway and stop your snoring. Z-Quiet is comfortable and easy. It doesn't require boiling, fitting, or sleeping with a closed mouth like other mouthpieces. It's ready to use right out of the box. The soft material and patented flexible hinge provide comfort to stop your snoring the very first night.
So I ordered it, and it worked the first night. The snoring stopped instantly once I started using it.
Amazing for me.
Try Z-Quiet for 30 days for only $9.95. If Z-Quiet doesn't solve your snoring, send it back and never pay a penny more. Stop snoring now. Get Z-Quiet.
The issues that impact our nation, the answers that will shape the election, coverage of the presidential and vice presidential debates coming in October on Fox News Channel, America's election headquarters.
The thing that I find most important about a smile is even if you're in a bad mood, when you smile, you're in a good one.
If you've lost your smile or confidence because of dentures or missing or failing teeth, the elite team of doctors at your local Clear Choice Dental Implant Center can give you back the smile you've been missing in just one day. That's why Clear Choice is America's #1 choice.
The minute I got in there, I'm instantly made comfortable, which is something that you really don't feel when you go into your typical dentist office.
What makes implant dentistry so exciting and why it helps so many people is that you chew, eat, you talk as if they were natural teeth.
Most people come into Clear Choice and say, "How can you really do that all in one day?" We've got over 14,000 of those all in one day procedures.
Call right now to receive a complimentary consultation plus get a free 3D CAT scan.
It's not a dentist office. It's a place that you go to change you from what you were to what you can be.
Call now and get your new smile in a single day.
This season of Unsons of Anarchy. But tell us where we can find Jack's teller.
What the hell is this, Clay?
History escalated.
You gonna kill me? No. But my husband might.
This is not about payback.
Tell the DA we'll turn ourselves in tonight.
Sons of Anarchy, all new Tuesday, only on FX.
The new Fox Tuesday is here, kicking off with a new season of New Girl. Then welcome Ben and Kate.
Stay away from my sister before you find out what 6 years of Krav Maga feels like. Well, like year and a half plus like 4 years on and off I was traveling.
Followed by another all-new New Girl.
What am I looking at here? Pure, unadulterated friendship.
And The Mindy Project.
I can't believe you're tattling.
Tattling is when a little girl does it, okay? When a hot woman does it, it's called whistleblowing.
The new Fox Tuesday premieres this month, only on Fox.
Last topic. Some nudists in Vancouver are seeking a law against ogling. It's true. A group representing a nude beach wants the city to ban noisy and nosy boats and their gawking occupants or goccupants from coming within about 1,000 feet of shore. Johnathan, you're in Europe where nude beaches are basically all beaches. Do you think the nudists are right here?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of us really want to look at them. Really? Who is ogling all those overweight Germans? Why is it overweight Germans, by the way, who are always first to take their clothes off?
They're just, it's not, I wouldn't focus just on Germans, but generally unattractive people.
It is.
It's unattractive
Why
people.
do they want us to look in the first? They're asking us to look, and now they claim they don't like it.
There is the occasional gem every now and then.
Yes.
You know.
That makes it all the ogling worth it.
That's the whole point. You know, there is a joint down here in Long Island, but I digress. Listen,
where?
Fire Island. Robert Moses. You can walk from the public beach, Robert Moses, on Long Island, to the lighthouse. There's a Fire Island. There's a nudist beach there. So people walk back and they're ogling all the time. And there is always a gem or two.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
So, Vancouver, though. Excuse me. Vancouver, a nude beach in Vancouver. I mean, isn't it cold up there?
Yeah.
Well, it's like in Reykjavik, Iceland. It'd be some major shrinking.
And also, they have great strip clubs. Who needs a nude bar, Lori? You were a nudist for a good portion of your life.
And I loved being oogle-doggled.
Yes.
Like, what's the point of doing it if you can't be, right?
Yeah, that's true. Exhibitionist, is that what you are?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
They're supposed to like that.
Yeah.
So everybody has seen the tattoos, in
Yes,
other words.
exactly. She's like the Lucky Charms
You're
box.
supposed to be sitting there
Bill,
like this.
you're not allowed at nude beaches or any beaches. You don't even know what water looks like.
I don't. What is that? What is that? Get that away from me. I've actually I've come to a different conclusion on this. I do believe that there's an element there that wants to be ogled and or oogled, but I also believe that people are probably doing this because it's the same reason you go to a horror movie. Because there's an instinctive nature to be grossed out. And there's also hilariousness there. Whether they're ungroomed or overweight, it's all kind of hilarious. I believe people go there to be entertained rather than aroused.
What about the nudists amongst themselves? Is it, can they check each other out? Like, what's the rule on that?
I always wondered about that. I've had a few experiences at these beaches.
Oh,
and
share.
Yes, one by accident, in which I was forced to clean up the whole beach. Bunch of us in high school got a case of beer, and we went to a beach in Santa Cruz, and we were drinking beer, and we were like just throwing our cans, and we didn't realize it was a nude beach until people came over and they forced us to clean the entire beach because they were nude bikers. Very scary men.
Bikers.
Anyway.
When you said accident, though.
That wasn't really a great story, and I left out the volleyball game. All right. We're going to close things out with a post-game wrap-up from TV's Andy Levy. And to see clips of recent shows, go to foxnews.com/Redeye.
So your typical mortgage is 15 or 30 years, right? Who made that rule? What if you wanted an 8 or 12 or even a 28-year loan? At Quicken Loans, we came up with something better. A mortgage on your terms, the revolutionary Yorgage, with terms anywhere from 8 to 30 years. So say you have 8 years left on your mortgage. Instead of a 15, refinance with an 8-year fixed Yorgage. That could even lower your payments. Or instead of a 30, get a 28-year fixed Yorgage and pay off your loan faster. Call or go online now for a free rate quote. Today's rate is 2.75%, APR 3.47%. At Quicken Loans, we close many of our home loans in 30 days or less. And we're proud to announce for the second year in a row, J.D. Power & Associates ranked Quicken Loans highest in customer satisfaction in the nation. Call now for a free Yorgage rate quote or visit us online.
50% of men over 50 and 80% of men over 80 have aging prostate issues. I've faced some fierce opponents in my time, but like most men over 40, I have a new enemy number one. If you're making more trips to the bathroom, having that urge to go, or waking in the middle of the night, you need Super Beta Prostate. And today, we're giving you the opportunity to try it for free.
Super Beta Prostate was specifically formulated for men to support prostate health and encourage normal urinary function.
You'd have to take 100 saw palmetto capsules to get the same amount of plant sterols as you would from just one Super Beta Prostate tablet. For over 10 years, Super Beta Prostate has become the most widely used supplement of its kind to support a healthy prostate. Don't let that urge to go be your enemy number one. Get Super Beta Prostate now and help fight the urge to go.
Super Beta Prostate is not available in stores. Call or go online now.
Karma's business is definitely stuck in the 70s. 70s clothes, music, and technology. When it came to marketing on the web, he was totally spaced out, man. Lots of businesses struggle with web marketing until they call Web.com, the web marketing experts for small business. Our pros will write, design, and build your website absolutely free. We'll help you get found on all the top search engines like Google, Yahoo, Bing, and hundreds more. If you're happy after 30 days, we'll keep providing promotion, hosting, reporting, support, and maintenance for a low monthly fee. If not, cancel and it costs you nothing. Karma did it. So can you.
I'm extremely happy with the results.
Web.com opened up the world.
There's nobody better than Web.com.
We are so lucky we found your site.
It's not luck, man. It's Web.com.
Get a great site for your business free.
Call 1-866-490-4885 today.
Back to TV's Andy Levy for the post-game wrap-up.
Thanks, Greg. Hey, Johnathan, I hear you have a fabulous online show people need to be watching?
I do indeed. Noon Eastern, Monday to Friday at foxnews.com with the staggeringly clever name of On the Hunt. How can you resist?
Very
Watch
nice.
it. Thank
like
you.
naked news?
It can be.
He said noon, not nude.
Oh, thanks, Andy.
Come on, Lori. Lori, what you got coming up?
You know, the usual, 1 o'clock on the Fox Business Network. Although tomorrow's Fed Day. Look for another round of stimulus announced by Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke. Exciting stuff. We might be in for a big rally.
Is the Huge the name of your show?
No.
That'd be a good name for a show.
Markets now.
The Huge with Lori Rothman.
Thanks.
I like it.
Quickly, Andy.
Bernie, what you got coming up?
As usual, the I Miss in the Morning program, Fox Business Network, WABC Radio in New York City, and all over the country. Every morning, 6 to 10.
Excellent. Back to you, Greg.
Well, thank you, Andy.
The O'Reilly Factor from Boston is on tonight.
Today we mourn for more Americans who represent the very best of the United States of America.
The statement that came from the administration was a statement which is akin to apology.
With 4 Americans being murdered in Libya, a war of words breaks out between the president and his challenger, Governor Romney. We will have a special report and give you the inside story.